Welcome back, Maniacs. How are we doing this evening? I know the camera looks a little weird. I want to show you something tonight, and so I had to put it on a little tripod instead of where it normally goes. So that's why I look a little weird right here. But welcome. And if you're a long-time viewer, which a few of you might be, if there's anybody here, we start off with a vape. So grab your vape. Let's have vape, y'all. Juice it first. That's what I would do. All right, so let's start over. Because obviously, I'm not up to task tonight. So we'll try this again. So too much. Damn. This thing hits. I've changed over to 21-700s, and these things punch so much harder than an 18-650. It's freaking crazy. There we go. That was a decent cloud. So let's see how many folks we got here. We got one person here. All right, cool. Fair enough then. All right, so what we're going to be talking about tonight is the new, brand spanking new, Aromamizer Plus V2. These just came in today. I've not even built on it, but as luck would have it, somewhere in my pile is coils. And so we're going to build this up, and we're going to vape it, okay? And what we're also going to do is I've got the version 1 here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to show the differences between the two, so that you can kind of tell what they've done, what they've upgraded, what they've not upgraded, stuff like that. And I know the top of my head is cut off, but once again, I'm on a little tripod. Normally it sits on top of the screen, so bear with me because we're going to have to do some down low shots, and hopefully I can get some decent shots of all this. But so let's get started. So this is the box that's going to come in. They come in stainless steel, black, and gunmetal. Stingray logo over there, and then not much else on the back. So we open it up, and it opens up like so, and inside you have all your goodies. Now these come in two different versions. They come in the basic and then the advanced. Somewhere on here, yeah, this is the advanced kit. Notice it right there. Okay, there's a basic kit, and I will point out as we go along what's actually in the basic kit versus what is in the advanced kit. So without further ado, let's kind of dive down. I'm going to see what I can do here. So bear with me. My office is a mess because I just got this in today and had a bunch of stuff to do. So let's do this. Alright, so why is that? Oh, give me a minute. Don't mean to give you vertigo here. Alright. One more time. And alright, maybe. Alright. So hopefully. Alright, here we go. So that's kind of zoomy in-y. So we open it up. We have our device. This is an 8mm extension. And I don't have enough. Hold on just a minute. Let me see if I can't get this thing. Because on this one, I don't know if I can get... hold on. Let me see if I can get some more light to get this thing to zoom in. Alright, so here we have our RDTA 8mm extension spare glass, reducers, I'll go over that, a little kit or your little screwdriver doodad with, sorry about that, that's not blood, that's actually pizza sauce. I'm special. Anyway, some O-rings in there, and then we have some other stuff in here that we'll get into that here in a minute. So first and foremost, let's take a look-see at this. So this is, and if you're familiar with the other one, this is going to look somewhat familiar, but you can notice the differences right off the bat. Alright, then we go down here on the bottom, designed by BJ. This one is number 15. We have Aromamizer Plus V2 RDTA on top here. And so that's what that looks like. We'll go over all the functions here in a minute. Extender tank. This is weird. It took me a minute to actually figure out how this thing went together, but alright, then we have these are exactly the same, so I'll only pull one of them out. This is a reducer to make it more like a restricted hit. I don't know how it works or if it works, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'll probably never find out because I'm not a mouth to lung person. In here we have our little tri tool, like so. Then we have, I'll get to that in a minute. This here is your spare glass. Then we have our box of goodies, which we'll go into here in just a second. It's easier to get this stuff out. Alright, spare O-rings and screws. And there is a lot of them in there. A lot of them. You should never run out. So we have our mesh deck instructions. We have our regular instructions, which I gotta be honest with you are not very good. Kind of just not very good instruction manual. A lot of it you have to just kind of figure out on your own. It comes with a little Steve Crave sticker, if that'll zoom in, which doesn't really matter if it does or not, I guess. It's just a sticker. And then so we'll put that back in, that back in, that back in, that back in, that back in. Okay, so we don't need any more of that. So here's a little spare box, or a little box you get. Well, if I can get into it, you gotta be smarter than box inspect. Alright. So in here, we have, what do we have in here? What is that actually? That is more screws. That is a squonk pin. Holy crap. It comes with a freaking squonk pin. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, a damn squonk pin for an RDTA. That's kind of a trip. Then we have some mesh coil right here. See if I can get a better shot of that. There we go. So that comes with this. And you go, well, why the hell do I need that? Well, you need that because of this. This is the deck for the mesh coil. And let it zoom in here for just a second. Come on, little fella. There you go. So there's your deck, so you can use mesh. And as you can see, because it's so wide, you can use different widths of mesh in there to kind of create whatever kind of vape you're looking for. And you got a little screw on that side, screw on that side to clamp it down, and then boom. So this only comes in the what the hell is that called? The advanced kit. So you don't get this with just the basic one. This is in the advanced. So that's just good to know. And then the one other thing you get, and this took me forever to figure out what the hell this was. This is a stick. It's basically a coiling jig in a way for your mesh. You take this and you put it on there, and that's how you create your dome for your mesh. So you can, do it tight, nice and tight, and not mess up the mesh. That is rather interesting, and I guess if you wanted to go higher, I guess you could, use the full thing, but it's got a flat cut here so that you can put it down flat on there. It took me forever to figure out what the hell this thing was for. So yeah, that's what that's for. So all this is basically the advanced part of it. So most everything that comes in this box. So we'll close that up because I don't use mesh. And so real quick, side-by-side comparison between the version 1 and the version 2. This is version 1, version 2. Automatically off top you can see that the version 2 is slightly shorter. Okay. But that has to do with, this is a 10 mil glass is what it comes stock. This is 8 mil. So as it sets right here, this holds 8 mils of juice. Okay. So that's why you've got just that little difference there. Now, the major difference between the two is the airflow holes. So on the old one, you've got this kind of open it all the way up, and then you can kind of do like a little slot thingy, and it does it on the the other side. But that's really about the only airflow control you had. Whereas this one, you've got, let's see if I can grab it at the right spot. So you've got that set of holes. That set. That set. And back to the 3. And of course what you do on that side happens over here. Now they say you can also take this ring off and flip it upside down to get more airflow options. So we'll see maybe if we'll mess with that in this video. I'm not 100% certain. Now both of them do come with juice flow control. So you can turn this ring right here, which is not any easier to open than the other one. And you can turn off your juice. So when you're refilling this up with juice, you want to do that every single time. You want to turn it off every single time, because as soon as you release this vacuum, it'll just flood the chamber. At least that's what happened with this one, and I'm assuming it's going to happen with that one. Let's see here. Other than that, well, it looks like the engraving, they moved it to the top on this one, whereas it's on the side of that one. A lot less stuff on the bottom. I wonder why. Huh. I don't know. Let's see here. A little bit, this more knurling down here is so much easier to grab and open than on this one. It's just crazy. Both of them have 810 drip tips with the O-ring on the inside. Now what's weird is this one has knurling on the top. That one just has those little grippy thingies right there. I like the knurling on the top. They should have done what they did down here and did it up here. But they don't seem to be able to do both the up and the down at the same time. So I guess it is what it is. And I think that's all we need with this one. I don't think we're going to see anything different. Alright, so if you're familiar with this one, this is going to be really familiar as well. So to get to the deck, you unscrew the bottom, and there's your deck. This is, as best I can tell, exactly the same deck that's in the other one. It is exactly the same size in every way. I put them right next to each other and they match up perfect. So there's your deck. And then let's take this airflow ring off and see. Well, they say it can come off. Let's take a look, see here. Well, I'll see how it comes off. It must come off the other way. So let's just disassemble this. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to put this on, because it is super duper confusing. And on this one, it has Steam Crave engraved on it. Looks really nice, really clean. Steam Crave just does good work. That's all there is to it. So let's break it down. So take off your cap. Underneath of it, nothing really much to see there. Just a cap. And then we'll unscrew this. Different threading. So you've got small threading on this side, and then bigger on this side, or at least, width-wise or whatnot. And then we got our glass. And then you've got this little chimney here, which is a pain in the butt to get off, but here you go. Well, I got ketchup on it. Or, sorry, pizza sauce. That's special. Alright. Yeah, I'm that person, y'all. Okay. So there we go. So there's a little chimney. And then you get down in here and let's see here. Aha! Alright, so there's your juice flow control. So that's going to, yeah, there we go, like so. And then when it's open, it opens up those holes there. And there's little cuts right here. Where did I see it at? Got little cuts right there, and that's what keeps that from spinning around all crazy. And then, now I bet we can get to our airflow control. Get off there. That's snug. Alright, there we go. So, that's what our holes look like. And here's what and this is the way it was. So they're saying if you flip it around, you get a different thingy. So let's see what that looks like, because I think everything else will remain the same except for the 2-slot one. Let's see here. Getting that in is a son of a bitch. Well, don't think. Well, that'll have to wait for another day then, because I can't seem to get that thing on. I'm hoping I can get this thing on generally. Let's see here. There we go. Just use that to press it. A little bit of O-ring there. So there we go. Pink. Alright, so and then we'll take this, and that goes like that. We'll find where it locks, which is right there. Alright, so here we go. You'll screw your chimney back in, like so. Alright, now you might, for this next part, you might need some pliers or something. I had to get some pliers to get this loose. But this little chimney that's on the inside, you're actually going to take it out and screw it onto the top. So it was there, now it's here. Okay? Now we put, where's my lock at? Okay, there's my lock. Now you put this, then you take this piece, which would be normally your top, which your cap would screw into, and you screw that on to here. Is that right? Yeah. Hold on, I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? Give me a second. Like I said, this thing, it doesn't come with directions, so you kind of got to figure it out all on your own. So it ends up being like this, I think. Yeah, so let's see here. Give me just a minute. I had this figured a while back, and let's see here. So that goes there. That does not go there. What goes where? Okay. Well, kind of looking like an idiot all of a sudden, isn't I? Let's see here. It's very, very confusing. I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to go on here. And it's supposed to go something like that. But, oh no, okay. Never mind. You don't put this on top of here. Sorry about that. Okay, so take this, screw this down. Alright. Then you'll put this in here. Like so. This will go in here like so. And screw down. Alright, then put your cap on. And voila. If you were to have your base on, let's open that airflow up. And voila. There you have it. So that's what it's going to look like, and in this configuration, this is 16 mils of juice. So let's try to let this thing zoom in and focus in here. Spin it here. Lights are blinding the hell out of me. There we go. Alright, so come on, zoom in. Alright, so there we go. So this is what it looks like, fully assembled in 16 mil mode. Alright, and if you notice with this, you have the kidney holes up in there, so it's not like it's just wide open or anything. Just kind of an interesting little idea, really. I mean, that just kind of, it's kind of weird. So that's 16 mils, and then you kind of, now let's put it up next to the 10 mil. Now we see, oh yeah, but I like this metal right here. I like this. That is pretty freaking cool. It adds a little bit more protection, and with a smaller glass you have a less likely chance of breaking the glass. So all in all, I think this thing looks really cool. It's just a little confusing. It's kind of like a little jigsaw puzzle you got to work out to get it to go together. So, as promised earlier, let's go ahead and slap a build on this. So I've got here's my little tool. Alright. So, and one side is, of course, positive, the other side negative. And you just cut your leads kind of short. And then boom. In they go. And I've not had any problem in the past with any of Steam Crave's screws stripping out. They make a good little screw there, ain't no doubt about it. Alright, that's one coil. And we'll go over here. This one. We'll tighten this in. I believe these are 4mm in diameter. Pretty certain anyway. There we go. So nice tighten up. Alright. One thing I did not grab when I was planning for this was cotton. So let's grab a piece of cotton, scissors, and tweezers. Alright. And I'll show you how I wick this thing, because it's really, really easy to wick. And I tell you what, actually, let's pull out my 4mm rod here and just give these a quick little snug and a tweak here. So make sure those are nice and good there. Let's see here. That looks good. Alright, so level across the top, level across the sides. Okay, looks good. And then I guess, for the sake of argument, I should pull some, huh? Probably a good idea. Let me grab a battery real quick. Alright, well, we've been going for a while, haven't we? Let's stop and have a vape for a second. Ooh, good stuff, good stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and pulse these coils off. Make sure they should glow evenly, perfect right off Jump Street, because these are some tester coils I made earlier, testing resistances. Alright, so survey says looking pretty good. There we go. That'll do. Alright. Now the wonders of not having editing means I have to blow on the damn coils. Get them to cool down real quick so that we can go ahead and wick this puppy up. So get this off this mod. We'll just set that there for the moment because that is hot. Then we'll get our cotton prepared. Alright, let's see here. So when I'm using Japanese on 4mm, I just take the paper off one side, cut it in half, and I do the sushi roll method where you kind of roll it up and then you just compress it in your hand as you're rolling it. And get that nice and compressed. And actually, I think, what do I do on these? Yeah, I think I just cut these in half. Isn't that what I do? Yeah, I just basically cut these in half. So you're really getting a lot of mileage out of your cotton. Alright, so how we doing, little coals? Are you cooled down enough? I think you are. Alright, so we'll just screw those in. Like so, and then I like to give it a little twist. We'll untwist it a little bit and get a little bit of pressure in the inside of the coil. And screw that one in like so. Alright. And that's really all the cotton you need, quite honestly. And I know it's not even right now, but that's not important. So what we do here is we're just going to fluff. I'm going to fluff and comb. That's why I prefer having really sharp, pointy tweezers, because it makes it really easy to sit here and comb this and get your excess out. We'll do that. Do the same on the other side. Just brush, 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 brush. And comb, 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 comb. And the one nice thing about the steam craves is they're very forgiving on your wicking. So you don't have to be just perfectly perfect at wicking. They're very forgiving. You just want to be in the ballpark. You don't have to be perfect. You just want to be in around about the ballpark of what you need. So that's nice and fluffied up. So get a little bit of the extra out of there. Just comb it out, thin it out. That's all you're doing. Alright. Then we'll go back on the other side. We'll pull just a little bit through. There we go. Now, we'll comb this up. Comb it out, comb it out, comb it out. Get it as fluffy as all get out. Alright, and voila. See, and this is how much cotton we took out of it. You know what I mean? That's, you don't really need that much cotton for these things. So, what I like to do is I'll just look and I'll try tucking some down. Well, I'm going to have a whole lot extra there. So what I'm going to do, give myself a little bit of a trim. Like so. Same thing on the other side. Alright. Now I'll just start tucking it in. You don't want to just super jam it in there. You just kind of want to let it flow in there. And you certainly don't want to jam a whole lot of extra in there. You don't want to choke it out. And see here now, if you see, I don't know if you can see this or not. Alright, so there we go. So you see, I've got little strands here, but I can, if I push in, I've got just gap. You know what I mean? It's not so tight in there that I can't gap it. And then what it's supposed to look like on the other side is just about like that. Not supposed to be jammed in there. I've done this both ways with the other one, and the tighter you have it, the more it kind of, it's easier to turn the juice flow control down. You can't speed the juice flow up, but you can restrict it. So it's better to err on the side of less cotton than it is thicker cotton. So I'll just comb this down, and I'm a stickler for getting all my cotton where it's supposed to be going, so that's just me. Alright, so, and come on, little fella, focus in. No, I didn't want to focus, huh? When I needed to focus the most. There we go. So as you can see, just like that. So yeah, that's all we're working with there. That's it. That's all the cotton we're working with. These this wire here is 24 gauge nichrome, flapped in with 32 gauge nichrome. Alright, so what we'll do next is go ahead and pre-wet our cotton a little bit. Don't have to get too crazy with it. Just get it a little bit wet. Let it soak in a little bit. Oop. Without getting it all over you, of course. Alright, and boom. That's it, man. That's it. That's all you got to do. Alright, so now we take this, and let's see if we can get you to see this part. Just like on the other one, you have little cutouts right there, one on each side, and you have a little corresponding tabs on here, and of course it's going to line up with the airflow, so that gives you a pretty good starting spot. Let's see here, trying to do it with that hand is just stupid. Alright, so where's my airflow? Okay, pink, pink, and then let me see here, a little off, so a little bit more over, and boom, in we go. Okay, and you'll just take this, screw it on, so what I'm going to do real quick is, I don't much care for this up here. I don't like a big tall one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back into shorty. Oh, that thing gets on there nice and snug. Now, give me a second here. That's the one thing I'll say, because everything they do with screws freaking has an O-ring on it. So when it locks in, boy, ain't no joke. You ain't getting no leaking off a steam crate product. That's a damn certain. Alright. So now we will turn the juice flow control. That's open. So we'll turn it to off, I think. Let's see here. That's good. That's open, so boy, that's tight. I think I got an O-ring when I was putting that back together. Give me just a minute here to get this off, because I think that when I was, whoop, there went my glass. I think when I was putting this back in there, the juice flow control part, thinking that I grabbed hold of some O-ring, and that is what is making this more difficult to turn than I would like, and also not sitting down quite as flush as I would like. So let me see if I can find out what my problem here is. Well, that is a head scratcher. Let me try taking the airflow ring off. Sorry about the blank screen there, folks. I'll give you something to look at. How about that? Alright. Well, this thing is just a bucker to get off. Alright, so let's check my O-rings. A little bit of something there. I'm just going to go ahead and lube these O-rings up, because they are grabby little fellas, which of course is what we want the O-rings for, but boy howdy, that's a bit snug for me. Alright, so boy, that is tough to get down. If I was you, I wouldn't even try to flip that freaking air ring upside down or right side up, either way, because that is just a gold-plated SOB, and now I've got an O-ring that I just cut through. Well, that's special. Alright, give me just a minute here. Hey, we're learning together, people. We're learning together. So I am going to do this. Just a minute. But the good news, of course, is they give you plenty spare O-rings, so I will go back later on and put this one back in, but I don't think I need it right now. This thing's so darn stiff that I'm not feeling that I'm overly concerned about that O-ring on the airflow control. Now, See if I can figure out how to get this damn thing down on here. Let me see here. What am I missing? What am I missing? So that's that. Okay. Give me just a minute. I'm trying to figure out. I've got a little bit of a gap here that I created for some reason. And, whoop, there went my thingy. Doing this with this finger is hard as hell, just letting you know. This really makes it difficult when you're not 100%. I think, okay, no, that's supposed to go there. That's supposed to go down more. I know it. And it's not going down more. So what's in my way? Alright. So that's supposed to go there. Okay, so that's locked. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, bear with me, folks. I'm still working on trying to figure out why it's not setting all the way down flush. I've got everything down there. That is really, really strange. So let me see if that's the way it's supposed to be. But I don't think so. Well, this live stream's not going exactly the way I was envisioning it going. I thought this would be a whole lot easier. Okay, that goes there. I tell you what, let me just take that little piece off. Alright, give me just a minute. Here's what I'm looking at. Alright, so got this piece right here. That's for your juice flow control. You see those little tabs? Well, those are supposed to fit the corresponding little tabs right there. And this is obviously up. I never took it apart. And there's there. So I put it in there and line up the tabs, which that's lined up. I've got a gap from hell. And there was no gap before. And I don't think that the there we go, let's take that. I don't think this is supposed to have a gap at the top either. Let's just take this here. So that's the way that's supposed to look. Like that. See, that's how that works. Dig, open and closed. So let's close it off because we were wanting to put juice in it to begin with. That doesn't go all the way down like that, does it? There it is. Okay. So that would be user error. That would be me. So you put that on first. If I can find where my little cutout is, right about there. Alright, so in theory this thing should go down, but it's there we go. Bingo. Okay, so when you take this off here, apparently you're going to have to separate the two to get it to go back down. That's really, really strange. Really, really strange. Alright, so that's not the one I need. This is the one I need. So put this back together. I got the juice flow off. Alright. And then how, whoop. Alright, let's just go ahead and put that back together. Screw it. There's that. That. Alright. There we go. And then, so we have the cap. And then should, my fingers weren't starting greasy. Yep, there we go. That's the way that's supposed to work. Nice and smooth. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, so I'll slap some juice in this real quick, because I've been dying to try this ever since I got it in. And like I said, this is not a review. This is just merely a first look of. I'll come back later and do a review of it and see if it lives up to at least the hype that's in my head. Because I'm excited to use this. I think this is going to be a really, really good vape, because they've made some improvements, it looks like, here. And I think that is pretty freaking awesome. So we're going to, where's my airflow? I'll set the airflow on the wide open and open up the juice flow control. Boom. And we should start seeing some bubbles, sure enough. Boy, sucked all my juice out. Alright. So good. Alright, actually I'm going to turn this airflow way down if I can, if there is a way down setting somewhere. One hole there. Alright. Holy crap. One hole is, man, that is restrictive as all get out. I think mouth to lung people might actually like this. Man, that is all restriction right there. Alright. And then what I tend to do, I mean, everybody's different. You can do it however you want. But what I tend to do is, after I get done filling up, I just dump a bunch in there. Because at the end of the day, this is an RDA. Alright, so let's go ahead and do I got batteries charged for that? Give me just a second here and I will decide what I'm going to put this on. I think that's going to look really nice. Oh yeah. Oh, unfortunately I'm probably going to have to adjust the pin. So, alright, give me a minute here. I'm missing a battery. Where's my battery at? Alright, I'm going to steal some batteries out of this mod. And slap them in here. And because this has an adjustable pin, hopefully. Yep, I'm going to have to adjust the pin on this. Give me just a minute. Make sure. You ever notice vaping is just a lot of tinkering? Does that do it? No. Give me a minute. It's one of those backwards threaded son of bitches. God, I'm not good with backward stuff. Alright, so make connection yet? Good God Almighty. It'll be alright, folks. I'll be alright. Give me just a minute. Yeah, as you can see, I am the most professional of you two people. I just got I've got a screen that I could put up, but I'd just soon sit here and jabber. There we go. There we go. Holy smoke. Woo! Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you all a bit of vertigo. Alright, bear with me. I'm going to try to make this as painless as possible for everybody involved. Alright. And boom. We back home, people. We back home. Alright, so Got it sitting on top of the Vapor Cloud Saga. Two 21700s, Samsung 30Ts. I'm still here. Let's get a drink. I've been yammering for a while. I'm assuming I have at least one person watching. Hey, 2 people watching. Yay, me. All right, let's just drink. All right. All right, so that is with those holes open. We're going to switch it over to those 2. Ooh, a little too warm for me. Alright, so let's get that back over to the 3. And I'm going to be honest with you here. That's not as much airflow as I thought there was going to be. I'm pretty sure 4, 8, 12, 13. Well, there's more holes, but they are smaller. So there's 16 holes versus 13 holes. Alright, good to know. But the holes on this are a little smaller. Boy, but she chucks. Boy, howdy. Alright. Did I ever turn the juice flow back on? Yep. Okay. Let me double check. Okay. So, if you look, I filled that all the way to the top. That's how much juice fell down in that chamber. So what we're going to do is here on camera. So you're going to turn. Whoop. You're going to turn your juice flow control to the off position. Then unscrew your cap, because if you don't, it'll just flood your chamber. We'll take it, and we'll just fill her all the way back up. Like so. Screw her back. And then the third part is super duper important. You have to open that juice flow back up, because I've done this before and forgot to turn the juice flow back on, and you'll get about 3 or 4 good hits, and then you'll meet Jesus. All right, there we go. And away we go. Oh, man. That is really, really good flavor. That just, I hate to say it, that may actually be better than RDA people. That's good. That's real good. Well, first impressions go. Other than the little hiccup I had reassembling it, and that was just user error that didn't have anything to do with the product. Other than that, there's a lot to like about this. There's a lot to like. First and foremost, the flavor is really, I can't get over how good it is. better than what I was expecting. Wow. Alright, so first impressions, I'm digging the hell out of it. Digging the hell out of it. We'll see. I'll give it a couple weeks. Maybe do a little better of a close-up job on the actual bits and bobs. But as of right now, this very instant, this is the best fucking tank I've ever used. Wow. Good job, Steam Crave. Ellen, well done, BJ. This is really, really good. So I will sign off for the moment. Like says, I'll give it some time and see what I think about it in the long run. So I want to thank each and everybody who stuck with me and watched this. I appreciate it. If you said something in the chat, I didn't see it. So I'm sorry if you did type something. I've had that happen in the past before. So, Steam Crave Aromamizer version 2. It's fucking legit, people. It's legit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya next video.